Alright, so before we get started here, I just want to take a look at the title of the video. Women on YouTube, The Truth. Dum dum dum. I really have to appreciate how they put the truth right there in parentheses for us, as though that somehow makes their point more valid. From that alone, you can really tell that we're off to a great start, so on with the festivities.
As a woman on YouTube.
Ah, there it is, the as a insert group qualifier. This is an absolutely meaningless talking point that I've seen from all sides of the spectrum, where someone will say, as insert group or label, and then go on to give their opinion as though their personal experience speaks for the masses, or somehow gives them a deeper insight simply because of the group they're a part of. Yes, experiences can be important in shaping your opinions, but it doesn't mean that you can suddenly speak for the entirety of your demographic. First and foremost, you are an individual.
I would describe my experience as careful.
So what does that even mean, that she's being careful? Because if some of her content is any indication, she has absolutely no idea what that would entail. I'm sorry, before we start this next clip, I just have to take a moment to appreciate this gem of a thumbnail that Jacqueline Glenn has given me. What a face.
Empowering.
So if your experience on YouTube has been empowering, as you say, then what the hell is the problem? Why are you even here? I thought you ladies were after female empowerment. If that's what you're getting out of your experience here on YouTube, you are achieving your goal.
Brave.
Oh yeah, you brave little soldier, posting things such as lesbians at the lesbian club and epic kiss. Where exactly is the bravery in posting things that you know will garner attention? I mean, call me crazy, but I'm just not seeing it.
There's a lot of judgment when it comes to women and the kind of content they create.
Hello, you must be new to the internet, because absolutely anybody that posts an opinion or any kind of content on the internet is open to criticism, scrutiny, and possibly even harassment. It doesn't matter what is or is not swinging between your legs. If you're on the internet, prepare to be judged. It's not always fair, it's not always pretty, but life is, in general, neither of those things.
People tend to sexualize you.
Oh yeah, Jacqueline, it's the people that sexualize you. I mean, you have never posted anything that has done anything to help perpetuate that at all. Nope, you're completely innocent. You've never done anything to sexualize yourself or make yourself present as a sex object. Nope, not at all. No hypocrisy here. Are you naturally lacking in self-awareness, or do you have to try really hard at it?
I just want to be out there and really empower girls with sexuality. But for some reason, when I empower young generation with sexuality, I'm seen as a slut.
Seriously, whatever happened to personal responsibility? If you're going to put yourself out there on the internet where strangers can comment on anything you say or do, and you're going to talk about sex, then you're going to attract a certain audience sometimes, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about that. So on one hand, yes, you can claim you're doing something positive for empowering women with their sexuality, but on the other, you kind of have to accept the pros and cons of doing so. And quite honestly, I don't understand what any of this content has to do with empowering sexuality. If anything, it looks like lowest common denominator attention grabs. I also don't believe that the vast majority of your audience thinks you're a slut. If they did, they would stop watching you and you wouldn't have as many subscribers as you do.
Instead of focusing on things that you're saying and the points you're trying to make, they'll focus on, what you look like that day or how much they would like to do certain things to you.
Getting made fun of for how you look on the internet is not something that happens to only women. That aside, you are partially responsible for your image and the way people perceive you online. So if you go out there and you put out videos talking about dildos, then of course you're going to attract people that will make sexual comments towards you. Now, I may not personally agree with comments like that, but the internet is a vast place with a wide variety of people, and not everybody is going to be respectful of you.
And it affects me because I'm a woman and I'm gonna be a mother one day.
I'm sorry, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? The fact that you're going to be a mother someday? What about men on the internet that get harassed that are going to be a father someday? What does that have to do with anything? How is that relevant? It's completely irrelevant, and you're just using it so that people will give you sympathy. The fact that you're a woman doesn't make you any more susceptible to the effects of harassment than anybody else on the planet. Especially if we're going for the strong and empowered narrative.
I could be giving a heartfelt personal story about some hardship that I've gone through, yet, a large number of comments will be, show me your tits.
You are perfectly free to share your personal experiences and opinions on the internet, But unfortunately, that doesn't mean everyone is always going to sympathize or empathize with them. That's just the way it goes. You need to accept that if you're going to be a content creator. I've seen the show me your tits comments around. I think they're ridiculous and stupid, so at the very least I'll give you that one. Because it really serves no purpose and does nothing to have a productive conversation.
Tell me some of the new comments you get. I have this ability of blocking off everything that is bad.
If you had the ability to block out everything that was bad, you wouldn't be sitting here whining about being treated mean because you're a woman. Instead, you'd be focusing on doing what you do, whatever that may be, and not pay attention to people that leave you rude comments.
You're just a slut. You don't deserve to live.
Didn't she just say she blocked out the bad comments? Anyway, I don't think it's necessary to say such things to people, especially you don't deserve to live, but you don't deserve to live is not a gendered insult, and it's not a perfect world, so while it would be nice if we could all play together nice and get along, not everybody's going to like you, and I have a feeling that the vast majority of your subscriber base leaves you positive comments. But you go out of your way to focus on the negative so that you can sit there and complain about how hard it is to be a woman on the internet. Well, I hate to break it to you, but women on the internet are highly praised and valued. For every sexualized comment and harasser, you've got dudes tripping hand over foot to compliment and defend you simply for being somewhat attractive. So while you may receive gendered insults, you also get attention simply for the fact that you look decent and have a vagina. Here's an example. Yesterday, I was watching a stream on Twitch. The girl was pretty, not a knockout, but certainly average. She only had 162 followers, which is not very popular on Twitch, and she was already receiving PayPal donations. And it certainly wasn't for her gameplay skills. Now, one may argue that there are men that get attention like that too, but they're mostly untouchable celebrities.
Shut up and go do your makeup. Show us what lipstick you use or something, you women do that are useful.
Jacqueline, for someone that acts so intellectual, you sure don't understand how insults work. Now, yes, those insults may be cheap, but here's the thing. When someone is trying to insult you, they're going to use anything they can against you that they know will get to you. Apparently, gendered insults get to you, so that's what people use. And you not doing anything useful doesn't have anything to do with the fact that you're a woman. It just has to do with the fact that you suck. You're an unoriginal plagiarist, and you should be ashamed.
I wouldn't even rape you.
What? Did you really just use that as an example? Let's play that again.
I wouldn't even rape you.
Holy shit. So somebody says they want to rape you, and that's a terrible insult. Somebody says they don't want to rape you, and that's a terrible insult. You would think that would be a good thing. I understand what they're going for with the insult, but if somebody said they wouldn't even rape me, then I certainly wouldn't hold that against them. But then again, I'm a man, and we all know men don't get raped. Silly me.
I had a conversation with who said that, listen, Olga, if you're not getting lots of opportunities, your channel will disappear in the next 2 years unless you'll go back to basics and spread your legs.
Wow, great censoring job there. I totally couldn't tell who you name dropped. And since you made it so obvious, let's take a moment to allow him to defend himself.
Recently, an old school YouTuber, I imagine, just trying to maintain some sort of relevance or get some sort of pop, said, I said something. Let's listen to it.
I had
Props on that faux censorship. Who else could she have named? Milub Toplenko? I have to go to Twitter, say I've never said it, call this person a liar. Why would I say go back to basics and spread your legs? It doesn't even make sense. She then says, if you meant my circus background in splits and I should go back to basics, meaning that I would be happy to ask for the video to be taken down. Which once again, didn't even say the thing I was accused of. But the person who slandered my name's like, oh, you know what? You probably meant because I had a background in the circus, that's what you meant, go back to basics. Completely different from the way that it was in the video where essentially I was like, you're nothing but a vagina. Also saying I apologized the next day, saying I had too much to drink, which once again, didn't apologize because I didn't say it even in the completely non-offensive way that you are now saying that it was said. The story just doesn't make sense, and luckily people that have watched me for the past decade know I wouldn't say some stupid stuff like that, so there was really no mob.
people have described in detail in an email that took 15 minutes to read how Bria should wrap me up in duct tape until I suffocate to death, and then those people could come and watch.
Alright, if somebody wrote you a terrible email that took you 15 minutes to read, why the hell did you even read it? You're under no obligation to do so, and you have a delete button. This is the most basic thing. Do you not know how to use the delete button to your advantage? You don't have to read it just because somebody wrote you something mean. Ignore it. It's like common sense is lost on each and every one of these people. Jacqueline, again with these gems. It's like you're queen of the stupid still.
I can put a lot of thought into something, and I can put my heart into something, And sometimes I'll say it and I'll make a video that is probably great and I won't even post it because I feel like people are gonna look at it and, you know, they won't take it seriously.
If you absolutely need the praise of your peers in order to have the willpower to post something, that really doesn't scream to me self-esteem, confidence, and empowerment. In fact, it just shows insecurity. Not everyone is going to like what you have to say, but if it's something that you truly believe in, have some conviction and stand behind your opinions.
Just because you think that some people might not appreciate what you brewing up in your head, just go for it and push it out there.
By far the most reasonable thing you've said so far. If you want to do something, just go ahead and do it and don't care about any of the possible criticism. And if it's not legitimate criticism that's going to help you do something better with yourself, then you can simply ignore it.
Why do you think it takes 200 channels to find the top 20 female channels?
That's really embarrassing.
How or why is that embarrassing? There are a ridiculous amount of famous female YouTubers, or at least female YouTubers with very strong subscriber bases. I've come across many vloggers that have about 1 million subscribers or more, so to say that it's embarrassing is ridiculous.
As a woman, I am offered far less money than my male counterparts that have similar views and subscribers.
Are we really trying to create a YouTube wage gap here? Come on, man. This is just absolutely asinine. How do you even know that your male counterparts make more than you or offered more than you? It's very possible that the audience you reach is simply not the target demographic for the advertisers that contact your male counterparts, and therefore there will be different advertisements geared towards them and their subscriber base versus yours.
I've actually had to come to the point where I make a fake email that's a man. Mine is Ryan, and he will respond to emails from brands for me, and he will negotiate for me.
I don't really know if that's something that you should be admitting to publicly, but I suppose I shouldn't be surprised that a well-known plagiarist would lie for financial gain.
To the whole society, as a woman, I would like to say, listen, we pop babies out of our vaginas. We can do anything.
Anything except for deal with mean YouTube comments, apparently.
Before you say something negative or before you spread more hatred because of whatever insecurity you have about yourself, just think about the impact that you could have if you chose to say something positive. Something positive that I'm willing to bet you wish somebody could have told you.
Alright, so that's not an unreasonable thing to say. In fact, for the most part, I can agree with it. Going around being a dickhead simply for the sake of doing so doesn't do anything productive. My problem is that these women always seem to conflate valid criticism of their so-called work with the more crude comments and label it as harassment. And it sets up this situation where you can never say anything to these people that isn't blind praise. It's absolutely hypocritical of them to complain about sexualization from men whilst preying upon their desires for personal gain. If you claim to be against that type of behavior, then you can't, in good conscience, simultaneously attempt to take advantage of it. One of the comments in the video claims that the following are the tags for this particular video: lesbian duo, singing lesbian couple, lesbian YouTubers, lesbian singers, lesbian comedy, skits, lesbian kiss, lesbian couples, hot lesbians, girls kissing girls, same-sex kissing, girls kissing, lesbians on YouTube. If you're going to use those tags to get attention for your channel, you really have no right to complain about being sexualized, because that's exactly what you were doing to yourself for views. Just look at the video they linked to in the description box. What purpose does this serve anyone? Don't talk to me about sexualized harassment when you're making simple-minded BuzzFeed tier crap like this. These women seem to be oblivious to the fact that they've managed to build careers off of what they do here on YouTube. If they were so hated, this would not be the case. They all have very high subscriber counts, and you can't tell me all of those subs are out of hatred. The truth is the majority of people like them and have allowed them to live a pretty privileged lifestyle in comparison to the everyday person who works from 9 to 5. Perhaps I should include that in the video title in parentheses just so everyone knows it's a fact. To have the ability to sit there and whine about mean comments you receive does nothing more than highlight just how easy they really have it. Well, thanks for watching, everybody.